Hi, thanks for watching this overview video of the MyCallPad software. This is a toolkit for managing call answering service accounts. It enables very quick message processing and powerful account handling functions. In this video, we will set up the software so you can send messages and account notifications. From the home screen, go top left and enter Setup, then navigate to the General Information section. This information is essential to ensure your system works correctly, and unless otherwise advised, all fields are required. Name. This can be your own name or a department. It will be used to identify who your email message is from. It will also be included in the email footer signature. Company name, again included in email footer signatures. The telephone number, included in the email footer signatures. Email address. This is used as contact for any return correspondence, but also, very importantly, used when sending messages through your SMS server. The address that you put here must match your SMS authorized addresses when you set up that service. I'll go into more detail on setting up SMS using a service like 2Text a little later on. Website, also used in correspondence with your clients in the email message footer. Next, we'll switch to the mail server section. You may need to contact your web designer or your hosting company if you don't already know this information. It will be the same as you use in your mail programs such as Microsoft Outlook. SMTP mail server, usually either smtp.yourdomainname.com or mail.yourdomainname.com or co.uk or net or whatever you use. Port. For network support means an endpoint to a logical connection. The port number identifies what type of port it is. Username. This is the name set up on your mail server to give you access. Password. Again, this will be set up on your mail server. Reply address. This is optional. If you've maybe set up a mail account purely for sending messages out of, and you want to return the replies to someone else's address, then you would enter the information here. It's not required though, you can leave it blank if you wish. Email BCC. Again, this is optional. It can be a good idea to set up an external Gmail account just to send a backup copy to. It doesn't have to be Gmail, it could be anything. But something that's external from your own mail server. Then if you're in a situation where somebody says, oh, I didn't receive that message, you can always check and verify that it did leave your server and everything was correct. SMS server, again this is optional, but if you're planning on sending text messages, you will need a SMS gateway to process the messages through. You would enter the address of that here. Next, we'll switch to the payment section. Payment page. You should set up a web page where you can accept customer payments online. The URL that you put in here will be used in the email advising clients that their balance is getting low and that they need to top up. By clicking the link, they'll go directly through to your payment page whereby they can top up their account. Payment instructions. You have the option to invoice clients if you wish. The payment instructions that you enter here are used in the foot of the invoice that you send the client. Tax number. This is used if you need to charge tax such as VAT here in the UK. It's included on the invoices. Tax percent, used to calculate the correct rate of tax on client accounts. If set to 0, no tax is added, otherwise a percentage amount is calculated on invoices or payment top-ups. Default call charge. This is the amount you wish to bill clients based on a per call charge. Later in stock calls, you have the option to override this amount with call-specific charges. Default SMS charge. If you plan on sending text messages, set the charge here. You don't need to send a text for each message. It can be set on an account basis based on what type of call it is and the priority of the call, i.e. just high priority calls. That is organised later. However, if you're planning on sending any text messages at all, you need to enter an amount here for billing purposes. Currency symbol, used again in balance notifications and on the invoice. You can set British pounds, dollars, yen, whatever you choose. Next, switch to the stock call section. You can add your most common messages here, then select them from a drop-down menu on the message page. This saves you lots of time writing the same type of message over and over again. First, you want to name your description. Now this is used in the drop-down text on the menu. If you pop a number at the beginning of it, they'll be sorted in that order, otherwise they'll just be sorted alphabetically. Call type. Set as standard if you wish to actually send a message, or admin just to log the message in the account but not to send an email or a text. You'll have times when a caller may say something like, "Oh, don't worry, I'll call her mobile." Then you'll just want to log it but not send an email. Message priority. This works in conjunction with the client settings. You can choose a default priority for the message. An example might be when a new customer calls. We have set this to default as a high priority message. If the call answering client has set up their account to receive text messages on high priority calls, or for all calls, this will trigger a text. Call charge. You will have already set up your default call charge earlier, but you can set an override here. You may want to charge less or maybe charge more for some types of calls. Message text. When you select the message type from the menu, this text will automatically be inserted into the message field. You can then add or change the message text, but the template will remain the same if you need to use it again later on. It's probably best not to have too many standard calls, although you're not in any way limited. If you scroll to the bottom, you can add your own, or you can remove anything you want just by tapping the bin at the side. Finally, if we switch to the marketing section, we add a short piece of text which is added to the footer of all messages sent to the client. I would use this sparingly, but it's a great way of drawing clients' attention to something that's important. That's it for this video. Again, thanks for watching.